And now for the continuation of part 2 of tonight's evening's LALATE as we go over the final 15 minutes of this video. We'll go over the breaking news as one of the major players in the Senate wants to give you a monthly stimulus check. And I'll go over the world exclusive broke last night on this channel and more about what Bernie Sanders says about that monthly stimulus check and the purple power. It's coming up in the final 15 minutes of this video. We'll be going over fifth stimulus as well, which raises your benefits up a lifetime, and then we'll be going over those application-based checks under fourth stimulus. What does this mean for you? And why is this the biggest deliciousness we've ever seen in the history of this channel? It's the second half of this big two-part evening's LA, and it starts right now, direct from Santa Monica, and thank you for joining me. Well, this stimulus is what the Democrats had promised for you, and now it's happening in September. Boy, September's right around the corner, and here we go. Let's go over all the details of how this fifth stimulus works. First, they're going to raise your benefits up a lifetime, then apply a new benchmark. And this drafting of fifth stimulus starts in just days from now, as the voting would be around November, but the drafting would be in September. Step 1 is to raise your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, and Social Security Railroad benefits. Step 2 is to apply a new asset limit, then apply an inflationary benchmark. Remove the income exclusion, remove the marriage penalty. Yes, this is fifth stimulus. Starts in September, then out the door by November. Let's go over all the incredible details on how this works, starting right now. First, they'll raise your benefits up first if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. That new benchmark? Inflation. Where's inflation going? It's going to be transitory, says Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve. It's going to raise your benefits up a lot. How high is that inflation rate going to go? I've been saying about 5%. That means the following would generally happen. First, they'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. And the new benchmark is 5% inflation. You'll go up another 5%. Not just next year, lifetime. Because once your benefits go up, they never step down. Then they're going to remove the income cap. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away along with the asset cap. Now, will there be a fifth stimulus check as well? Yes. The House Ways and Means Committee they're giving you a fifth stimulus check in the fifth stimulus package, which will be next year. And before we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, what are you doing? You need to become a Purple Hawk if you're in the live chat. And notice people who have that emoji next to your name, today is the day to become a Purple Hawk. Purple Hawks, Purple Powers, and Calcino VIP are members of this channel. The link is under the video. And daily I deliver to them a breakdown of all the big money available under first, second, and third stimulus. That money is available for you to get and pounce. I launched Purple Hawks in January this year membership because there was a third stimulus check of $1,400. But I said, big deal. There's $14,000 I can get you under third stimulus package. And now Purple Hawks are killing it. Viewers aren't getting $14,000, they're getting $30,000, $40,000. Daily, I deliver to the Purple Hawks, Purple Powers, and Calcino VIPs a breakdown of all this big money on the first, second, and third stimulus. And 3 viewers got over $40,000 last week, and one of them got $80,000. 3 viewers the week before got over $30,000. We had 2 viewers get $20,000 the last few days as well. And then, of course, we had Mark who got $50,000, Lorraine got $100,000. So consider becoming a Purple Hawk and learning about all the incredible big money under first, second, and third, and what's proposed under fourth. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, the second part of your fourth stimulus check update 2021 on Evenings LALATE, starting right now. Done deal. A $3.5 trillion recon was passed a week ago, Tuesday. And this recon is incredible great news because what? Number 1, there will be a recon. Number 2, it'll be $3.5 trillion. And number 3, it'll be all checks for you. Now let's go over all the nuances of this first before we get to the world exclusive on this fourth stimulus check of 2021 today. First, this recon is generally all application-based checks. The recon is guaranteed, the checks in the recon is guaranteed, but they're application-based. There's a push underway, you're going to see in the third part in just a second, in the world exclusive, to add monthly stimulus checks on top of there. That's not application-based. That would be automatic. So what's application-based stimulus? You've been doing this since day one. You've been doing this for day one, but let me give you some of the items that are proposed under the fourth stimulus recon so you get a sense of what they are. Number 1, free school meals for all, checks, tax break checks, cheaper prescription medication checks, farming checks, checks for elections, checks for free internet, checks for seniors, including checks for low eligibility age, checks for dental, checks for vision, and checks for hearing care, and then checks for workers like independent contractors. Now, you just saw in that video, in that rundown, checks for seniors, checks for dental, vision, internet. Well, those are all application-based. For example, IRS, Department of Treasury, knows nothing about your teeth. Thank goodness. I don't want them to know about my teeth. Yeah, I mean, they're okay, but yeah, I just don't want you to know about my teeth. And that is why IRS, Treasury can't send you out automatic checks for your teeth, because they don't know about it. That is why money on the $3.5 trillion recon is being given to committees that will have your money, and that's where you're going to reach out to get the money. We did this in the first part of this video where we went over the nuance of what a recon procedural is, which is $3.5 trillion in checks given to committees. Committee number 1 for internet, committee number 2 for dental, and number 3 for vision. All those committees will have their money for you, and you'll pick up the phone and get that money. So like viewers like Johnny, which I detailed in part 1 of tonight's Evening's LA broadcast, got 7 items last week at $80,000 from third stimulus. Those 7 items were not in the same location. He had to make 7 different phone calls. But this is great deliciousness for you under fourth stimulus recon, because this is the opportunity for you to get a lot of checks of all different types. And if you got to one item from this channel over the last year, then you're going to pounce as a Purple Hawk under fourth stimulus. Now, it's important to go over the recon substantive nuance, which Larry Pringle said beautifully on Noontime, which is, he was one of the viewers in the comment section. He said, you need to push Purple Power because they're writing the recon substantive now, and you need to push and make sure they spend the money the right way. Beautifully said. Recon substantive says basically, or deals with the issue of, now that a committee is given $10 for the subject matter, how is it going to spend the money? The issue of terms and conditions is critical, and that is why I brought back seats for stimulus, which basically says there's 66 House seats up for grabs in November. You need to push these legislators and make sure they spend the money the right way. House, Republican versus Democrat, this could totally change the balance of power. We've been doing application-based stimulus since day 1 of this channel. EIDL, PUA, PPP, UI, PBT, SNAP, rent, utilities, food, internet. We've all been doing this. We have picked up the phone and got the money. That's the same thing for the $3.5 trillion of checks under the fourth stimulus recon. Not automatic checks, which is a different issue, which I'm getting to in a second. These are all the other checks, which are absolute deliciousness in the fourth stimulus recon. Which brings us finally to the additional add-on on top of that, which is the World Exclusive. Last night on this channel, during a World Exclusive, I detailed to you what Bernie Sanders' staff told this channel. The communication was that Bernie Sanders wants to do a monthly stimulus check in the fourth stimulus recon. Yes. Now, before I go into the details, let me go over the significance of Bernie Sanders in the equation. You may know Bernie Sanders as a Democrat and a progressive, but you need to understand that his involvement is a lot more important in this situation. Why? Because this reconciliation, is also called the budget bill. It's the budget. And guess who oversees the budget bill? The budget chairperson in the Senate. And who is that? Bernie Sanders. He has the single most important role for this recon because as the budget chairman, he determines how money is to be spent after that money is dedicated to the subcommittees. They've already agreed upon the price tag under Bernie. He went in there asking for $7 trillion. He said he walked out ecstatic at $3.5 trillion. He says, I get enough money to get things done. But now they are determining how to spend the money. And that's what Chuck Schumer said, that Bernie Sanders is having a conversation with Chuck 4 to 5 times a day going over the details, the terms and conditions about how to spend the money. So among the issues about how to spend the money, monthly stimulus checks, MSC. Brother Joshua, a longtime viewer of this channel, and a wonderful, wonderful former volunteer for the community page, reached out to Bernie Sanders' staff yesterday and said, let's talk about those monthly stimulus checks. The staffer said, yes, Senator Bernie Sanders is proposing monthly stimulus checks in that fourth stimulus recon. So let's go over the scope of that conversation, the proposal, and the twist from the Purple Power. Bernie Sanders staffers told Brother Joshua that Bernie Sanders is considering a $1,000 to $1,400 monthly stimulus check. That's the range. Some number between $1,000 and $1,400. And the range of time that's being considered is 3 months to 6 months. In essence, 3 to 6 months of checks. There you go. Absolutely wonderful, incredible, great news. But there was a twist. The conversation involved the staffer telling Brother Joshua that Bernie Sanders wants to know that he has enough support from the American people before doing this. And this says Purple Power all over it. This is you, Purple Power. He wants to know that you have his support, that he has your support, Purple Power, to do monthly stimulus checks of 3 to 6 months, $1,000 to $1,400. He wants to hear from you because ultimately that is where the push is. The chairman of the budget committee, the guy who's overseeing the budget bill, which is $3.5 trillion, which has room for stimulus checks in there, wants to give you a monthly stimulus check, but needs to hear from you with a proposal on the table of $1,000 to $1,400 at 3 to 6 months. And there you go. You've got this, Purple Power. Pick up the phone and call Bernie Sanders' office. Say, I support you. Go on his website, contact him, contact his DC office, go on his Facebook account, say, I support you, hashtag LALATE, hashtag Purple Power, hashtag MSC. Today you were doing an incredible job. In less than 24 hours, dozens of viewers say, I picked up the phone, I called Bernie Sanders to voice my proud support for him, to say, I support him. Viewers say that the staffers were very, very kind to them and absolutely treated them like gold, saying, thank you for contributing your contribution to this conversation. We didn't just start this today. We started this several weeks ago when I said, pick up the phone and call the elected officials. That's what WR, another viewer of this channel, did when he picked up the phone and called Chris Coons, Democrat, Delaware, senator, old confidant of Joe Biden, whose staffer at the time told WR that Chris Coons as well was proposing a monthly stimulus check. Wow. Very fascinating. So you see a lot of people in the equation. We have Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, and Ron Wyden in the opening graphic, all senators, and now we have Chris Coons, all saying they want a monthly stimulus check at different times on the horizon. We on the House side have all the hundreds plus that have said this in different time horizons. And then we have AOC and Omar and Jalapal. We have all of them in the House bill. But really one of the most important parts of the equation at the moment remains Bernie Sanders, because the Senate is still really almost the lead department on this recon. It's been sort of a back and forth wondering if the House is the leader or the Senate's the leader, with the House subcommittee writing the legislation, but it looks as always that the Senate is guiding the force on the recon price tag and provisions. And so if Bernie Sanders wants to do it, it's going to get done. It's going to get done. Over the weekend, Chuck Schumer praised Bernie Sanders as a top legislator, and even Mitch McConnell did as well, saying that Bernie Sanders may have not gotten the Democratic nomination for president, but he certainly won over the Democratic Party. So with that, make sure you support Bernie Sanders. Let's recap all these details in the second half of this doubleheader for Evenings LA tonight. First part was we went over the incredible details of the big money that's being gotten by viewers for this channel. Available still under third stimulus. If you didn't watch that first part of this video, please do. Because what's important to understand is that fourth stimulus is not laying in your bank account this week, but third stimulus is. You need to pick up the phone and call for that rent, utilities, food, internet, mortgage assistance. Purple Hawks are killing it, getting thousands of dollars daily. This is real money available today that viewers are getting this day. Last week, we started with 3 viewers who were at $0 on Monday and ended the week at over 40,000 and one at 80,000. That could be you. Number 2, Bernie Sanders wants to do monthly stimulus checks and wants to do them reoccurring and wants to do them for several months. This is incredible, great news, and it actually tracks a little bit close to what I had reported to you for months on this channel about senators wanting to do about 6 months of checks. So vocalize your support. Hashtag MSC, hashtag Purple Power, and hashtag MSC. Finally, of the remainder of the items that are in that recon, they're guaranteed to be paying out $3.5 trillion of checks to the American people, mostly application-based. So if you've killed it under first stimulus, second stimulus, or third stimulus, by picking up the phone and getting one item, you're going to kill it under fourth stimulus because it involves a simple task of at least picking up the phone. It's going to be a great week with a lot of details across the board. So much programming still coming up later today, so let's look and see what's coming up next. Next tonight is, of course, after Evenings LALATE is Street and Stimulus coming up at 7 o'clock. Then Sirloin is back at 8 o'clock. Move on over, as he would say. At 9 o'clock is Overnight's LALATE. And then we go into Purple at 11:30. Join me tomorrow morning as we return at 3 a.m. with Overnights, and then 3:30 a.m. with Street. Finally, 4 a.m. is Early Mornings LALATE. And then we go into our noontime shows, 9 o'clock and 9:45, and finally noontime. It's been a big night. Sorry for the two-part version of Evenings LA due to the power outage today, but don't forget to hit part of those LA alerts. It's totally free at news.la.com/alerts. Once you see that, once you go there, you put in your name and email address, you get that confirmation totally free. Watch for the confirmation email. Over 1,000 of you are still waiting to be confirmed. It's automatic. Click the blue button and then away you go. You can take it on the road or anywhere you are and get those alerts. And across the board, there's so much happening. I'm so excited for you of where we are as a family and a Purple Power community. And with that, make sure you join me next on Overnight's Crypto. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers at YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that like button right now. Subscribe, like, and consider becoming a Purple Hawk. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful evening, and join me next as Overnight Crypto starts right on this channel.